Swaddy Krap. Welcome to Thailand News Today. Getting a bit of help today from Dam, right there. Very active, madly editing away, getting ready for today's news. Maybe not. In the meantime, we do have a lot to talk about today, so let's get started. Police in riot gear and gas masks have deployed water cannons and tear gas on protesters out the front of the Thai Parliament this afternoon. Police were directing protesters to move back from a formidable 3-layer concrete barricade along the road outside Parliament. One protester threw a blue paint bomb at the police barrage. Protesters are also complaining that the water used in the high-powered water cannons was again laced with a chemical irritant. Protesters are numbered around 400 to 500 at this early stage of the afternoon. Meanwhile, with all the commotion going on outside, there's a joint sitting of Parliament inside for the next 2 days as parliamentarians discuss 7 charter amendments. The Parliamentary Speaker, Chuan Likpai, says 6 proposals have been submitted by MPs, a 7th draft proposed by the Internet Law Reform Dialogue and petitioned by 100,000 people is also being debated. 1,350 unarmed police have been deployed to keep the peace outside Parliament today. This morning there was also a gathering of around 100 members from Thai Pac D, that's royalists, who are opposing any changes. Thai Ratsadon, that's the People's Movement, is currently rallying, demanding that the discussions also involve the Constitution's relationship with the Thai monarch. The outcomes from this 2 days of debate will decide the setting up of a Charter Amendment Committee and its terms of reference. With this Thursday and Friday deemed special holidays, making it a 4-day long weekend, for some anyway, some 3 million people are expected to travel, circulating some 12 billion baht in tourist revenue. But the ever-optimistic TAT says that the recent COVID-19 cases could influence travellers' plans. 4 mystery local transmissions over the past month have put question marks over the Thai government's narrative of containment of COVID-19 in Thailand. Along with COVID fears, the TAT governor says the number of travellers might not be high because several private companies decided not to grant the extra holidays, the Thaiger being one of them. According to the TAT, the most popular holiday spots for locals are Chonburi, Bangkok, Kanchanaburi, Nakhon Ratchasima, Rayong, Prachuap Khiri Khan, Khon Kaen, Chiang Mai and Ayutthaya. The international favourites of Phuket, Samui and Pattaya are generally off most local tourism maps. We might think all sorts of things when flight delays inconvenience us, but most of us will just stew in the departure lounge. A Thai man called Mike decided to vent his anger. A Thai VietJet passenger was arrested after he allegedly muttered, "I think this airline should be bombed," just as he was boarding a flight at the Phuket International Airport. 26-year-old Mike Wims was arrested by airport security for allegedly violating Thailand's Air Navigation Act, which prohibits false statements that could potentially cause panic. Mike muttered his threat, seriously or not, just as an airline employee was handing him back his ticket. The employee then asked her colleagues to contact the airline's chief as well as airport security, who then detained the passenger. Mike claims he was angry about the flight delay and the statement was a slip of the tongue. He faces charges under Section 22 of the Act on Certain Offences Against Air Navigation. It's on again after last week deciding to hang on to the current 14 days mandatory quarantine. It's back on the table today, discussing the possibility of reducing the 14 days down to 10 days. The Centre for COVID-19 Situation Administration will meet tomorrow to discuss the proposal, again, to reduce mandatory quarantine to 10 days for arrivals from low-risk countries. But, again, a number of leading Thai medics are warning against the move, saying it could cause an uncontrollable spike in virus numbers. They're urging officials to wait until an effective vaccine is available, which it's hoped could be within the next 6 months. The Public Health Minister says he understands the doctors' concerns but believes them to be unfounded. reminding them that the reduction would only apply to people coming from countries considered low risk. Well, as we wrap up this afternoon's news, we are aware that the protests are ongoing outside the front of the Thai Parliament, with also threats coming from protesters that they're going to stage a protest from the Chao Phraya River. As usual, the Thaiger will bring you a full, unbiased report of what's happening with the Thai protests. In the meantime, please subscribe to the channel, please. And from Dam and me, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.